Obviously, I will have a very biased perspective as to what fitness does to you.
Yeah.
Because after the permission of Allah, it completely changed my life. It changed my life from a mental perspective, a financial perspective, a confidence perspective, a self-belief perspective. Obviously, with tawakkul in Allah first, not to say that we believe in ourselves and disregard Allah, but all of these things, I know that it drastically changed my life with the push of Allah, alhamdulillah. So, of course, I'm going to be biased in regards to that. But what really gives me the passion now to help Muslims transform is because I see a pandemic these days of just being average. Okay. Being average, what I mean by that is there will be certain, like, for example, I help various different Muslims on different levels with their body. Like, I help on the top end, like, I help people who are already in extremely good shape, who've been training for 20 years, take it to the next level. I help people who are average go to great. And I help people who are like really out of shape, like obese, worst physique that you could ever see, completely stray away from that. But one thing I want to focus on, and I think this is the majority of people, is people who are average and they are content with that. When the Prophet ﷺ, he taught us about ihsan, he taught us that we should do things in life to the best of our ability. And again, it makes no sense for a person to not take their health and their fitness to the highest degree possible, because we know what that's going to give you. A lot of people think that just being in shape and having a six-pack and having a nice chest, having nice arms, that's the only thing that comes with having a good physique. But that's really not what it is. Like, that's cool. Like, if you were to do it just for that, okay, you'll still get amazing benefits from that. But that's not what a fitness journey entails. It entails your mind completely transforming. Like, the way that you view yourself, like, I know it's cringe because people shout affirmations at the mirror and everything, but genuinely, like, from a serious perspective, like, if you were to wake up every morning and you look at yourself, and when you look at yourself in the mirror, you see a person who does what they say they're going to do every single day, no matter what, you're going to be more confident, aren't you?
For sure.
Exactly. So that's why I believe it's so important for people to get into shape and unlock that potential that they have. Because if you're able to do that, you become more confident in life. And what does confidence bring you? It brings you more money as well. Because when you're more confident and you act in accordance to that, people can sense that as well. It's not just about people as well. Of course, that's an important thing because people judge you in a certain way. I still believe it's very important to take care of how you physically look just because of how you present yourself to other people. But at the same time, that's not the main thing. The main thing is just so you have that confidence. When you look in the mirror, you're like, I genuinely am the type of person, because of this body that I've built and after the permission of Allah, I am the type of person who, when I say I'm going to do something, I am going to do it. Okay. It's about keeping a promise to yourself. So I believe that so many Muslims, because they have an average physique or a below average physique, they are limiting themselves in terms of what they can do in life. Like, as Muslims, like, generally speaking, we are very aspirational people, especially as entrepreneurs as well. We want to change the world. But how can you change the world if you can't even change your physique? Do you see where I'm coming from? So I believe it's so important. I know how much of an impact it will have. And I've seen it before. Like, people will tell me that they signed up with me just to kind of look a little bit better and feel more confident. And all of a sudden they're making more money. I'm like, duh, because, like,
so what's the relation? What's the correlation
between what?
Between building your physique, working out to take care of yourself, let me put it that way, and making more money. What have you seen is the correlation?
As I mentioned, it comes down to, like, that self-identity. If there's a person who's fat, out of shape, and they say I'm going to get in shape one day, I'm going to get in shape one day, I'm going to get in shape one day. Every single day they look at the mirror and they see a big belly, and on the back of that, what are they going to think? They're going to think, you know what? I don't do what I say I'm going to do.
I'm not capable.
I'm not capable, and I'm lazy as well. Those two things.
I don't keep my words.
And if you do that in one aspect of life, where's it going to transfer over to? The other aspects of your life, right? I have a theory. The way that you do one thing is the way you do everything. If you do one thing 50%, you're going to do everything 50%. Like, for example, if you have a project or work or some studies that you need to do, and you do it with half effort, you're going to half effort your relationships. You're going to half effort your Islamic studies. You're going to half effort your business. You're going to half effort everything, because that subconscious action leads to other things in your mind.
Right. But some people, somebody may argue and say, look, some people are just so passionate about certain things.
Yeah.
Right? And that can be something that makes them a lot of money, obviously, right? It could be something that's to do with business.
Yeah.
And they're just so passionate about that thing. They wake up in the morning, they stay up late for that, they work weekends, and they make good money. But when it comes to going to the gym and working out,
that's what I'm saying. Like, there will be some exceptions to it. Like, if you look at, like, for example, we'll take a non-Muslim example, Elon Musk. The guy's fat. Okay. But he's very, very rich.
Elon is fat?
Yeah. I mean, my definition...
Your definition of fat, right?
For my definition of fat, like, I would... Like, we're going to go a bit sciencey here. My definition of fat is anyone who's above 15% body fat. And
body fat,
that basically means anyone who does not have some outline of their abdominal muscles.
Exactly.
If you can't see some type of abs... Sorry to break it to you, I do believe this person is fat.
Allah.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
We have a lot of work to do, y'all.
Don't worry, inshallah. I'll give you a blueprint on how to get there.
I'm looking forward to that, inshallah.
But I want to go into before I answer your question, I want to go into a scientific perspective. I'm not just saying that because I feel like saying that.
No, for sure.
It's because scientifically, every percentage of body fat you have above 15% converts to estradiol, which converts into estrogen, which is the female hormone, and that lowers your body's ability to produce testosterone. So actually, every percent of body fat you have above 15, i.e., not having you don't have to have like a shredded six pack. Like that's not for everyone. But if you don't have some outline of your abs, then every bit of body fat you gain above that is making you more feminine. Okay? Subconsciously. Most people hover around 22, 23, 24, 25%, just to put things into perspective. And on top of that as well, it affects your insulin sensitivity as well. A lot of Muslims, especially South Asians, I know some Africans as well, diabetes is very, very common.
For sure.
Like you could probably count like on both your hands and your feet, like how many people you know have
especially
diabetes.
the uncles as we get older.
Yeah, exactly. The reason for that is because our insulin sensitivity is messed up. But do you know what causes the insulin sensitivity to mess up? One of the primary reasons? Being above 15% body fat. Okay? I'll give you one symptom. Anyone who's watching this can use this as an example. When you eat a meal, do you feel tired after? Like a lot of people will have food, like they have some rice, potatoes and stuff like that. They feel tired. They want to sleep. They want to sleep after. Why is that? Food's meant to give you energy. Food has energy inside it. It's because your body cannot break that down because your insulin sensitivity is terrible. And the reason for that is because your body fat's too high. So again, like that is why it's so important to just make sure you don't have much body fat and you get lean. But anyways, going back to the question, there are people who are making a lot of money who don't even go to the gym, who don't even take fitness seriously. That's fair and that's true. But if we look at the ratio of people who are in shape and compared to how much money they make on average, it's always higher. The stats define it. Okay. But even then, let's assume that it's got nothing to do with it. Is your definition of success just money?
Absolutely.
Isn't health the foundation that everything else in your life stands on? Like, how are you going to enjoy money? Like, I could give you $20 million today, but if I gave it on the condition that you're only going to survive till you have a heart attack because you've got heart disease and you're not going to wake up in 3 months' time. And
you don't want the money.
You don't want the money because all of a sudden now it's irrelevant. Like, this is the problem I have with so many Muslims. I recorded a video on this today. I'm going to put it out. But it's so sad. Like, Allah has given you this body, but for most of us, it takes us a health scare to realize the blessing that He's given us. It takes us to have heart disease. And that heart disease didn't start when you're 40. It started when you were 20. It takes us to have diabetes or pre-diabetes. That didn't start when you're 50. It started when you were 20 or 30. Okay? You need that as a wake-up call to get in shape or take your health seriously. Unfortunately, sometimes it's too late and the damage has already been done. So that's why it's so important. And I'm really passionate, not just because of a performance perspective, but also from a health perspective. That just getting in shape is just like not the highest ROI thing you can do in life, but it is one of the most highest leverage things that you can do to improve every sector of your life. Does that answer the question?
Absolutely. And I think, at the end of the day, all of us, that's what we want every single day. We wake up wanting to improve every aspect of our life.
Exactly. And money can't be the only metric for that as well.
It can't
be. I like to define the biggest metrics. Obviously, the most important one is your relationship with Allah.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's the primary thing and everything else comes after. And then there's other things like, how's your relationship with your family?
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be a bit crude here. So if there's any like minors watching, if there's any children around watching, like put the video on pause and watch it somewhere else.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just going to be straight up because people need to hear this. Like, if you make a lot of money, and let's say your deen's good as well, like you have a good relationship with Allah, but when you take your shirt off in front of your wife and you feel insecure and you're thinking like, she doesn't even like how I look, how does that make a man feel? Not good, right?
Right.
Exactly. So you can't just define success as one metric. There's a million different things. Islam teaches us about balance, okay? And we have to be balanced in every regard of life. And we should aim for improvement, self-improvement in all sectors. Because if one thing is off, it's in some way or another, it's gonna affect the other things. It's like a disease that spreads. Like it's like a rotten apple that makes all the other apples rotten. If you do one thing one way, it will transfer to the other segments of your life.